whole thing. So if they named the air Shu, they named the light wind or mist, they named it Newt. They named the ground Geb, but we naming it now Earth. So when the etymology changes, so does the action. So when we said there, and there means two, three different things again. So when the elder Baba came in, he's starting to elaborate on different things. So when you talk about these different laws, when the new young man came in, right, we talking about the difference in the Hermeticism, how they renamed this book. We talking about universal laws, and then y'all talking about the different principles. And no matter how we changed it, we still talking about the same thing. So was it energy he talking about, or was he talking about the universal principles of oneness, or are we talking about all is one and one is mental, or are we talking about how are we bringing this down? So again, I'm rocking with all of y'all, but I'm not going to defend or offend nobody's principle being comedic, rocking with Maya, and everybody else is from something different. Why is that? Because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to build.
So hold on. Metal netter.
Yes.
Word for the gods or divine speech is the ancient Egyptian name for the hieroglyph. So particularly, so the word became so metal netter. That means word becomes real, like the word of God.
Right. And the nature and the natural nature, again, was the elements and all of the things bringing it forth into what it is in the beginning. All of that. Exactly.
And you know what? What's deeper about this is that in E right? We have a thing called we have a thing that we talk about like a spiral. We have a thing called Odu. Odu is the word, and then the Odu becomes real through divination, so divination. So Odu is how things come into being. Metal nature is the same thing. How do things come into being? How does a thought or a word come into being? And this is actually ancient science, and this is what they would call witchcraft or whatever. But metal becomes nature, word becomes real, right?
Yes, and it was already done, so they wrote it as they went along. Again, and this was all of the funeral practices. This was their walk. This was exactly how it went. You see what I'm saying? And so when the people went back, right, and some of them as they lived it, they were able to do it. But if you 100 years later, you got to go into seeing, because there was no vows in Kemet either. There were no vows.
Right. So metal is just a language. So metal is the language or the communication of the gods, right? Just like the Odu in Ifa is the communication of the gods, right? So and the same thing happens in Christianity, the word becomes, you know what I'm saying? And it says that God was the word and the word was, so when you say when does the metal become nature, is when does the word become I would say
well, if this is how you're using it right now, if this is how we're using it now, this is how we're using it now, is we talk it as we walk it and we pass it along. But if you get married, as we said, and you go around to your husband and their family, and this is how it changes. But if this is how we continue to do it, remember, Kemet was under how many years of sand? How many when they dug it up in 1901? Okay, 1920. Okay, so this is everything they found later, and now we rediscovering, and now we reopening it. Because this is a history outside of the Bible. Everything now that we know now, right? But this is still a history now. So now that we uncovered this tapestry, we're into it now. But this is something we're into now to figure out. So we can't pinpoint and say, well, they didn't do that and we're not doing it right and all this other stuff, because we don't live according to the Bible, that they don't do all those things either. So I'm not here to.
I'm confused. Like, what are you talking about?
a solid mass? When does vibration become solid? When does, like, what makes um something that you say or a vibration become real or become an actual possible matter? That's what, like, that's what I believe he's asking. But Dwyer, is that what you mean, Baba Dwyer?
What you say now?
When you're asking when does metal become nature? Because metal nature, when I
Yeah,
think about is
yeah.
when do things go and come into being, right? Because in
That's
E5
why.
we have
That's why.
Udu. In Egyptian we have medu netter. So both of them are like the word. In the Bible, you would say the scripture. When does the word become
So,
actual
so but
matter?
yeah,
Right?
but he said when does matter become matter? I don't know, like
No, metu netter. He said metu netter. When does metu become netter? Or did I get it
but,
wrong?
but metuneta just mean language of the gods.
Right, but it's also a way of bringing sound into reality. 'Cause
Okay, so let me land with this. There's one thing in the Kemetic principles. So when I say talk it like you walk it, and the 42 principles that we do know, we have the ones we say as we wake up, and then we say them as we go to bed. And so some of them are that I have not, and you do those in the beginning in the morning, you'll say I will not, right? And so you will not hurt people's feelings, and you will watch the things that you say, and you will not make nobody cry. And at the end of the day, you before you end that night, you'll say I have not done these things. You see what I'm saying? And so these are the things that out of the 42 principles that you will practice, right? So in the morning you'll get up and you'll say I will not do these things, and then at the end of the day you'll go around and then you'll say I have not. Now if some of those things that you have done, those are the things that you need to critique yourself on, because this whole walk is a personal walk. And this is what I explain to people all the time, because the person that oppresses is the person that's trying to impress, because your whole life your parents are proud of you for being you. If you're trying to do all of this to impress somebody, trying to prove them wrong is going to prove them right. You only have to prove it to yourself. You are your biggest critic. You make it harder on yourself than it needs to be, right? Everybody needs somebody that they can lean on, to even cry to, even talk to, even vent. But trying to prove something to somebody else, why? When you don't have to. Because they're not going to go out their way to prove something to you. The only thing they're going to do is show off. And sometimes the toughest, the showing off person ends up in the grave. And that's what they prove to you, that they didn't make it. So don't be that person, be the other person, and just prove it to yourself so that you can show your children how to make it.
no, I have a question, sister. In the Egyptian thing, do they have something similar to the Odu? Do they
I don't know what the Oduns do. So
Okay,
I don't judge like that. So because every person is for that person, you have to meet a person where they at.
no,
And
no, no, I'm about to show you what the Odu is.
okay,
I want because the Odu is a, because okay, I would say that in Judaism they have the Thur. In, I would say, sacred Jewish mysticism, they have the Kabbalah, but they use the tarot. What is the divination system of ancient Egyptian philosophy? Because I want to show you in Ifa what the divination system actually is made up of. And is there something similar to this in Egyptian? Because like, okay,
but is
so
that for me to judge though? Or am
Huh?
I just to be? Am I supposed to be with somebody or kick it with somebody based on their religion, or am I just trying to hang out with that person just to be hanging out with that person?
What? No, no, I'm asking. I'm trying to understand. Like, it did the Egyptians? You say you practice Egyptian
Okay.
spirituality. You're learning Egyptian. Did they have something close to like a Ifa, like a I would say a divination practice like Ifa? Like, so Ifa has this table that you can see right here. This is someone made this
Can you blow it
permanent.
up so I can see it,
Can
please?
you see it? I'm gonna blow it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
what it is a binary system. Let me see if I can like. Oh shoot! Let me see if I can like go down here. So it's a binary system where you throw like a puele and it comes out with a number, and each of these numbers, this is the whole like all the odus, it equals out to a key. So if it comes out this one, there's a key for that, that one key for that. So let me just give you an example. Can you see this screen right here?
I see it, but you haven't blew it up. Maybe I need to.
Let me see. I can zoom it in probably further. All right. So it probably won't go any further because this is the Odu. So it's like, let me show you probably a better
Okay.
Odu Ifa. Hold on. I don't know. Somehow, like Chat GPT took over my search. So every time I search, it opens up Chat GPT. I'm like, bro, I'm not. We'll go back to Google. Okay. E5. Wait. Oh, do E5. But brother Dewar, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to understand. Okay, so this is an example of the binary code of E5. So each of these, this binary code equals out. This is like the 16 major Odu. Now each 16 has a, so when you get like a reading, this sign comes up, right? And so when the sign comes up, there's a key that matches with the sign. So say you got Ejiogbe, right? Right. So let's look up Ejiogbe. So say that when you go to a priest, Ejiogbe Odu comes up, right? So what happens is that particular Odu equals a specific sign. So and there's like a whole like a lot of stuff. So it'll tell you like, okay, blessings, long life, fulfillment, victory over adversity, consider
So
obstacles that require specific rituals, and those such as bathing with such as
those
soap.
particular divination systems exist all over Africa. But specifically, if you're talking about ancient Egyptian, they would they would do scrying, they would do dream interpretation, they would read stars, uh, uh, you know, like that. They would use those type of divination systems, which are similar divination systems from West Africa, the Congo, and other places in Africa. There's not very much difference. The only difference is the medium in which they do it in. You know what I'm saying? And that varies culture to culture. Because when you go into let's say the Dogon, they got their divination system is a little bit different, but it's based on the same principles. All of that stuff came from about the Nile Valley system. You know what I'm saying? It came from all of the divination systems. So that's when you go around the world, you will see that it's universal around the world, especially when you go into traditional societies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where the opening of the way came from. Exactly. It came from the Metal Nature.
Yeah,
So
yeah. All of that stuff stems back because you got to understand under the 18th dynasty, the priesthood went underground. So a lot of that stuff, the priesthood broke up in different systems, went with different tribes and different bloodlines. So
exactly.
you got various different bloodlines up and down the Niger Valley, different bloodlines, all scattered all throughout North Africa, all throughout East Africa, Southern Africa. You know what I'm saying? All in the Arabia. You know what I'm saying? The peninsula and shit like that. So the mystery system broke up and it spread out. So all of these different systems that y'all see actually belong to the one original code. All of these are just mother codes. They come from the one mother code that came from up out of the Nile Valley. It came up out of Kush. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing. It's just that when we start looking at it as if it's not a continuity, like what y'all doing.
Oh no, I'm trying. No, look, trust me, I'm not trying to say.
I'm not saying.
I'm really genuinely asking a question, like because I don't really know about Egyptian stuff. I just know like from that is this a part of it? And here's the thing: the reason why I'm asking that because you have the Levites of Hebrew, the Levites that had the Thur. So was that of the same priesthood as the Egyptians? And the same priesthood of the Yoruba and the same priesthood of the other
priesthood is just a fraction of the priesthood that broke off from Egypt when the Hyksos or the Shashu people was there and Akhenaten, the heretic, all of those systems got broken down. And yeah, that language, that writing system that comes up out of that priesthood, that's just part of it. That's just one divination system. You see what I'm saying? Like you talking about thousands of different divination systems in the priesthood.
I know. Trust me. So here's the question. Okay, so listen. I'm not asking to debate. I'm asking because I really.
I'm not debating.
I want to make it clear. So, all right. So you have Egyptian. You have like the bomb and the sand divination. You have all these things throughout Africa. And they all came out of the Egyptian like school, like what? Probably like Alexandrian. That people learned this and then went throughout Africa and like they took parts of it and then they scattered. I don't even know. Maybe they like because of like war or conquest, they had to like.
Thinking way before
exactly.
Alexander.
This was prior.
This is way before Alexander.
Right, it was prior to Alexander. It was prior to because Akhenaten was like the fourth.
He
changed his name to Akhenaten. So you got to go back to the second way. You got to go all the way back to Khufu. Yes, you got to go all the way back. So these things were way back because the Khufu towers go back to way prior to even Moses and.
So that is like the same thing as Hecate or Hecate. How do you say Hekat? Hecate? Is that the same thing too as well? Hecate? Like
Hekasuit.
Like
well, I'm not sure who you're talking about, but yeah, the names are.
Well, I think in Egyptian they have a thing called Heka, which is like the word and speaking the word. Yeah.
Well, that's even further back, but yes, you got to go all the way back because.
See, I want you, sis, if you go look this up, right? Go type in your search right now. Type in scrine, SCRYING in West Africa. I want you to go type
backwards to even say about the Exodus, whether or not it happened. They were leaving Egypt to go back to Canaan is going backwards. You see what I'm saying? And so that's even going back to where it all began. Let them say it. So. That's going back to the Khufu towers even. So you got to pass the pyramids and Wasseret and all of that. So to go back to those towers and everything that you talking about, where you at right now don't even happen unless you got to go hundreds and thousands of years back in time to get to those words and everything that's on those pyramids and everything. Those are hundreds and thousands.
It's the method to my madness. It's the method to my madness. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Hold on. So now we're saying that we came from we're from America. But all those sciences that exist in America right now, scrying, Odu, all this stuff exists either through the slave trade or through like Wiccan, like you go into the white people, they do a lot of scrying, right? So I don't know if they got it from Egypt or what, but you go into like the Wiccans, they do more scrying. They do like that aspect of it. You go into like certain parts of West Africa, they're more of the divination, like through the Ophele and things like that. You go to different
Well, that, all of
tarot.
that came from Greek words. So all of
I,
that
I'm gonna
witchery. Go
let
ahead,
me
sir.
read this for you.
I'm trying to draw a connection between what happened because like I said, once again, I'm like trying to draw a connection between what's going on here in America and what was happening here there in Africa, and saying that there could not be a disconnection because all these things right now exist in America, and how they get there, like how do you have Haitian voodoo practitioners.
Listen, could I say something?
Okay, all right. So maybe I'm getting over my head. I'm just trying to understand like how all these
I'm
things in one place,
The,
but now they're here.
the oldest hemisphere is where you live in now, in the Western Hemisphere. The pyramids is 10,000 years older in Mexico than they is in Africa. The pyramids are. Are you familiar with that? Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
All
familiar.
three hemispheres, the north, the east, and the southern hemisphere was destroyed by the flood. Ain't no flood came to the western hemisphere. This is the oldest hemisphere it is. When they say in the Bible about the tree of knowledge, the tree of knowledge is the redwood tree. It grows in Seattle, where known as Seattle. They call it the Pebble Indian back when before they renamed it. Is the redwood tree. It only grows in one place. That's where the tree of knowledge is. That's where when the Mason, the Scottish Rite Masons came over here, they say that this tree here is called a tree of knowledge. All history begins in the Western Hemisphere, and you guys don't know anything about the Western Hemisphere. You starting your history off in Africa, ancient Kemet, Cathay, Kufi, with all the beautiful names that it's been named over there in Egypt and stuff. History don't begin over there. The oldest history is in the Western Hemisphere. You got to know that history before you can understand what you believe now and what's been given to you. Now, the 12 laws of nature starts off with the law of motion. The second law is the law of opposites. The third law is what you ain't never been. You're talking to my big mama now, and that's the law of balance. You never been balanced.
Yeah,
The fourth law of nature is the law of rhythm, the music of the fear, the rhythm of life, the rhythm of mind, the key note, the esoteric meaning of colors, the building of the cosmos, the fourth dimension of space, and the fifth dimension of space. Those are the 12 laws of nature that you never been taught. And me
yeah,
and
bro.
Co taught out. Me and Co taught out of this book for over 50 years. And when you talk about the Gnostics, the Gnostic is the
Pagan
Gnostics.
Christianity.
The Gnostics was the first school of thoughts to create a schism in Christianity. You had
Right.
the Esther, you had the Essenes, you had the Kabbalists, you had the Cabalist, and then you had the Kabbalist. All of these were secret societies. These was cults that was over
Correct.
across the water. That was over across the water. Now I don't know. I know a lot. I agree with Cole when I was with him about EFI. EFI teaches you about nature. White boy thought that all of the deities that you was gods and you was worshiping, and that's a lie. And so I have no problem with a person believing in EFI, because when you believe in EFI, understand EFI, then you ain't doing nothing but talking about the laws of nature. and you're not up under that white man's belief system. His belief system, 2/3, he's only a third of the population of the world. It's the pink man. And you've been taught his knowledge to the standpoint where you had to know everything that he changed. And so, but it's good for y'all to discuss this. And sister, I got to play tonight at 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna have to.
Right. Well,
I'm gonna have to.
listen,
I still.
Give
I
some final
still play
thoughts. You have to get out of here. Give some final thoughts before you go. I love, man. This is great. Thank you for this.
But it's great that you guys are dialoguing with each other. See, in ancient Greek, there was 12 schools of thoughts, and the first school of thoughts they got rid of was dialogue. If you can Google this, America is up under the Sophite school of thought. The Sophite school of thought taught LOVE, love. There's Eros, Philo, Agape, and Snowgate. Eros, the love of man and male and female. Philo, man and man. Snowgate, woman and woman. Agape is the love of God. And that's the school of thoughts that America teaches. Love. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your enemy as you love yourself. Pray for those that spitefully misuse you. That's a damn fool. But you believe. Look how many people believe in that system. You believe in love. I don't love nothing. I respect everything. And the reason I respect everything is my daddy say, because you a danger to yourself and everybody else around you. So that's the reason I have only respect. I don't love Lord, God, or mama, but I respect. Nowhere in the Bible it tells you to love your mama. It tells you to honor. Honor means respect. I don't teach love. And that's was something that Poe would tell you quick. I ain't graduated to that point that Dewaya has. And so this is a school of thoughts. See, a school of thoughts is a mind. A mind is a school of thoughts, how you think. And then you teach that school of thoughts to your child. Now, none of my grandbabies and children, they don't love you. They'll tell you quick. They don't celebrate no pagan holidays. They'll tell you that quick. And they're very young. I got my two grandbabies. One was born the same date I was born, the same hour and the same time, and weighed the same thing as me. And he'll tell you quick. He ain't worshiping no Santa Claus and all of that bull crap that they teach you in Christianity. But you have to decide for yourself what school of thoughts that you want to take on. And see, when you start talking about, it's a book wrote on everything. White Boy, one thing I like about White Boy was that he wrote down everything and put it in a book. Reading is comprehension. Colored people, which is 2/3 of the world is colored people, we wrote from right to left, but not from left to right. We wrote our stuff on stone tablets and scrolls. We wrote in calligraphy. We didn't write in cursive writing. See, so when you writing in cursive writing, you with the white boy school of thoughts. So you had to break yourself down. Well, am I in a white school of thought, or am I in the natural way? Because a pink man is a unnatural person. I don't. The Bible, the 1881 Bible, it's been 52 Bibles that's been the Word of God. That's the biggest lie that ever been told, that the Bible is the Word of God, because it's been 52 Bibles that's been the Word of God of the belief. the Americans took on the 1881 Bible. When they did that in 1881, the Catholic Church called them the
1611.
Antichrist.
They took on the 1611 Bible. They
Because
took
the
on the 1611.
they tell you that the 1881 Bible that America believe in and all the Western Christians believe in is the Word of God. That word Bible was translated out of the 1611 Bible. The 1611 Bible was translated out of the 1523 Tyndale Bible, William Shakespeare Tyndale Bible. I have all of these Bibles. I have every last one of them. And they don't read the same. It's because they was wrote by a man. I got a history of the Bible. The Bible got a history to it. So once you study what's been given to you, then you'll come up with complete understanding. I mean, it takes a long time, but it takes what you guys are doing. You have to debate with each other and talk. In other words, you have to reason with each other. And by reasoning, then you bring about understanding. And
Could I
I
ask
got
you a
to get
question,
ready
sir,
to. Yes,
before you
sir.
leave? There's a discussion that comes on this panel a whole lot. Now, if an older person disrespects you, are they your elders?
Well, here's what I'm not an elder. That's the first thing you got to know about me. An elder is a person of wisdom that's in a church. That's a Christian. I'm not an elder. I'm a Yah man. That's what I go by as a Yah man. And that is a GDI, a goddamn individual. Ain't but one of me. That's who I go by. I don't love nobody. I respect everybody. And that's what you have to know about me. But what you believe is what you believe. Now, this is what my great great grandpa taught me at 3 years old. I lived 3 years in the mountains with him, nobody but me and him. He taught me nature. He taught me everything about nature. What plant was this, bird call, what tree was this, from 3 years old. I lived with him till I was 6 years old in the mountains. Every weekend, my daddy would come up there and bring us food and supplies. He lived in the mountains, on the mountains in Crockett, Texas. This is how I was raised. He taught me how to make, how to kill, how to make bow and arrows, how to make hooks, how to do this, how to do that, how to skin an animal and do this. He taught me everything about nature that you were taught what you call a rites of passage way. At 7 years old, I was taught the Masonic order, but not the white boys' Masonic order. At 12 years old, which the number 12 is complete, I was complete with this knowledge. This knowledge was taught to me from a message from my butt to my brain. Because I didn't wear no hearing aid, and they only told me something once. And then I had to not forget what they tell me they would quiz me on. Now, this is how I was raised. Not most people. I ain't never met nobody who was raised like I was raised. And so, but it's like I said, it's good for y'all to have good discussions. And I'm not your elder. I'm a Yah man, and I'm 80 years old, and that's it. I'm on my 8, and an 8 is 2 ciphers stacked on top of each other. If you want to go into numerology, like Grandpa taught me, that's 720 degrees of knowledge. 7 and 2 is 9. The 9 don't change. But I mean, that's another deep lesson when you go into numerologies. But all of the knowledge that y'all believe in, I've been taught. If Egyptology, E5.
Were you taught to respect those that were older than you, or
Yeah.
were you able to were you when you debated them? Was there a certain level of respect you still had to have, even though you might have a point of contention? did you still have to have respect?
Right. I mean, we was taught respect, but I know when you say elder, when you say this and that's what you mean. But I'm not that. I mean, and I will get you straight real quick. You have to ask me who I am. You can't describe me. Only me can describe me of what I believe in. Because I have a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you don't believe in that? You're a fool. You can't tell
One
me
more
what
time,
I
why are
don't
you not
believe
our
in."
elders? Why are you not my elders, sir?
What is the definition of elder?
I know
A
it's a
person
Hebrew
that
word. Go ahead.
it's no, see, etymology, deal with etymology. Elder is a person that has great wisdom in a church. That's a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not
Gotcha.
no religious. I'm not no religion. I'm a Yah man. And we dance. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. What are we saying?
Are you a
What are we
Jensen?
saying? we are saying we when we dance what is
But
called a
that's
ghost dance.
not the etymology of the word elder, though.
Are
Of
you a
what?
Jensentarian? Are you a Jensentarian?
The etymology of the word elder is more old or elderly person, senior, chief, or prince, ancestor, parent. Like that. That's what the etymology is. Like Christianity ain't even attached to this word.
Yes, it is. I don't know where you reading that.
In what sense?
I have a I got an etymology dictionary of English and
Yeah, that is that. Yeah,
modern day English. See, that's an English word,
well,
and you
it's
had
not.
to see now whose dictionary are you using? Are you using Noah Webster's
Yeah.
dictionary, or
I'm
are
saying
you using Daniel Webster? See,
I'm
because
using.
Noah Webster, and I doubt if you got a Noah Webster dictionary because it cost $1,200 20 years ago. You got a Daniel Webster's dictionary, which is modern day English. This language we speaking is English. It's Slavic and Teutonic. It ain't
I'm
even
glad
English.
you said something about language because that's what I was going to get at with the whole thing, overall conversation throughout the
Yeah,
whole couple hours we've been talking. If we
yeah.
don't know
And
our
so,
original language, you
Yeah,
cannot
but
say or verify any
elder
kind
is
of
not
information
attached to
because
that.
you don't have knowledge of the
yeah,
original language.
so I go by what I have studied over the
Yeah,
period of years. And see, what dictionary are you using? Are you using the Noah Webster dictionary, or are you
Etymological
using,
dictionary.
uh, or are you using the Daniel Webster dictionary?
So
The
etymological
Daniel
dictionary.
Webster dictionary is the one that they teach you in school. The Noah
It's
Webster, most people ain't never heard of Noah Webster
But they,
dictionary.
they also brother, they have information that predates the information that even you have. And I was trying to speak
Yeah,
on that earlier, but we got off the subject. Information you do
yeah.
have, not saying that is wrong or right. They have information that predates even what you even been talking about. Because when I spoke about Gnosticism, you said that the oldest religion is something pertaining to closer to the Creator.
What a Gnostic was the Gnostics come out of. I
I
got
ain't
a book
finished.
called Secret Societies. All the secret societies in
I
a
want
chronological order. The Gnostics was a secret society. It was a cult.
no,
Only
no, it
certain
wasn't.
people.
That's the
Oh
understanding.
yeah,
That's the
the
understanding that
Gnostics,
you have and what you read. That's what I'm saying.
The Gnostics was a secret society. When you still get through with it, it was a secret. It was a sect known under the generic name of Gnosticism. It is pure. It is in its pure form. Gnosticism aimed at supplementing faith of knowledge of eternal birth and giving a wider meaning of Christianity. I'm not a
That's
Christian.
it. That's what your
And see,
understanding of it is. What you read.
once you believe in
Can't hear
Gnosticism,
you
then
good.
you telling me you're a Christian.
No, that's not. That's what I'm sitting up here trying to tell you, but you keep cutting me off. What I'm trying to tell you, what you read is what you read. The Gnosticism teaching what I've read don't have nothing to do with even you talking about. When I
Yeah,
spoke
well,
about when I spoke about Gnosticism, I said one word, and while you're not responding to that word that I said, let me know that we're not talking about the same Gnosticism.
right. I mean, when you
I'm gonna say that word again. In Gnosticism, the true teachings of Gnosticism is teachings of the infinite source, the light. What's so
well,
extended from.
nonsense. I don't care what you call it, but the Gnostic was the first school of thoughts to create a
You basically
schism.
saying
You know what
everything
is in
you read, everything
Christianity.
you studied.
So you're a Christian. To me,
No,
you're a
I'm not.
Christian.
You're not listening to what I'm
I
saying.
don't
You basically
what
saying
your belief.
everything that you read is correct, and regardless of what
What you
everybody else
believe.
said, what they read is not correct. The only
What
way
you
to get
believe.
correction is from what you read, and them the
What you
only
believe.
books. That's the only knowledge.
Did
You're
you
not
hear
gonna be
what
able to
I
hear me
said?
because I've been talking and
You
you're hearing it, and then you hear what I'm saying.
you don't hear what I'm saying.
I've been hearing what you're saying. Everybody on this
If
panel been hearing what you've been saying for the last 2
if
hours.
you
Ain't
tell
nobody able
me
to
that
talk.
you if you
Yeah, I
tell
have been
me
hearing what
that
you're saying. I walked outside and went outside for 2 hours and
Yeah,
came back and
but
you still talking.
you're not writing exact, sir. You're not writing exact. You come up with that mumbo jumbo. This man is on his Dick Gregory each and every time
I
he comes
understand
up
you on
here.
this degree. What I'm saying is
You
man, I
know,
don't care who he
what
on.
I read or
I,
what I
I'm talking
you
about
got
you.
you got to
You on
understand
point.
me.
Old man, you
I
on
don't
point. This guy's not.
believe
This
what
guy's
you
not right.
believe
I don't
you
know.
want to
I
believe.
disagree because I'm reading from the Oxford dictionary. I'm reading from the Oxford
that's what I'm trying to tell
English
you. Everybody don't
dictionary.
agree with what he's
And when
saying.
you go to the
Because he
Oxford
really
English
means it, right?
dictionary, it goes all the way back to the 1200s, right? Old English. And the eld is the first rendition, and it means fire. And then when it goes into the Old English, it means old age, advanced period of life. And as it goes into it, it goes into eld. Again, it says occasionally used in poetry for old. Then here goes another definition for it in the 1100s. It means intransitive to grow old. That's what it means. It says transitive, to put off, to grow old. By the time it reaches the Old English in the 1600s, elder also was referring to a low tree or shrub, right?
Yeah,
You know what
y'all
I'm
man
saying?
is on point. Y'all man is on point. You
I
babbling.
don't. But I'm saying through all of those different definitions, no, not one time did Christianity come up into play. Not like it's not connected to being a Christian. So like,
Well,
where did the idea come from? I want to know where the
well,
idea of
that's
elder and Christian is somehow linked. Like, where did you get that idea from?
It's linked to the
El-
Judaism.
Okay, so we're talking about Old English, the Proto-Germanic. We're not talking about Jews or Hebrews or none of that stuff. You're talking about language. Language has a root and an origin, and it comes from a specific place. This is Proto-Indo-European. This not Semitic. This not Hebrew, right? So we're talking about the Germanic language. So when you go into the etymology, which is the origins of words, where things come from, right? You can't sit here and say that this means Christian is attached to Christianity when them people didn't even believe in Christianity at the time. So I don't know, man. Like y'all gonna have to butter that up.
Well, the
I'm trying
elder
to say,
left,
Reggie,
you know, the
what you
elder
just
left,
pretty much
he had
said.
somewhere to go. But we can continue this conversation. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel
Next
like,
conversation.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think that he made his point. He said what he had to
Yep.
say.
Multiple times he shut the younger
Well,
ones down.
he also said some other things. When we was talking about those laws, and I brought up the principles of Hermes, and I brought up mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. Then he turned around and read those 12
Yeah,
laws, and they were the exact same things. They were the exact same things.
same
And
thing.
that's why I said in the beginning that the knowledge is universal. You know what I'm saying? You try to put a white or black label on top of it or something like that is doing disservice to knowledge and consciousness. No, there's no such thing as white man science. You have evil white people who do evil things for the white supremacist system, but science itself is not color or race bound. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of our elders come from that era of radicalized black radicalism. So a lot of them is just hard for them to evolve from that mind state. You know what I'm saying? It is. I mean, like we got to just bless them and just send them on their way.
Plebiscite babble.
Okay. All right. So I want to get like the last word from everybody before we close this out. Let's start with well damn, what happened with Brian? I was gonna start with him. Well, okay, well let's start with you, Burns. Go ahead, Burns.
Yeah. So in closing, like I said, one of the principles that we learn when we study metanetic is that I have not turned from truth. And that means that you have not turned from truth no matter where the source comes from. No matter if it comes from your enemy, your ops, or, whatever. You got to accept the truth for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that's the thing that we grasp onto is to open our minds, be enlightened, and always make truth your only ally. When truth become your only ally, you ain't got nothing else to fear. You know what I'm saying? So, it's the real Burns, aka and Kakarek, man. Holla at your boy. God is light. Light is let your
Hey, make sure that have you joined the channel?
Well
yeah.
said. Well said.
All right, make sure you join the channel. Make sure
I've
you
been
hit
joining.
all notifications because we're gonna be having more conversations like this. That's what this is about. And I appreciate your input, man. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
No doubt, sis.
All right, let's go to the next person. Where is what happened to he was up? Okay, here we go. Let's
Well
go
said. Well
to
said.
hold on. Infinite light. Let's go. Go ahead.
Oh, you can go
No,
on, Pat.
no, like Sakina, you're last, bro.
Okay, but I don't want him to leave after you speak, Infinite Light. I got something to say for you.
Okay, so don't leave. But you say something. She want to say something to you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Infinite.
I'll wait. I'm waiting to this done.
Okay, all right. So, all right, man in the high tower. Go ahead.
Greetings, Americans. I want you to be healthy, be very vigilant out here, and also understand that there's going to be a lot of cleaning up in the United States of America. These illegal immigrants have been scamming and usurping our resources. The Man in the High Castle is just not a television show. He's an online character. And in this dystopian future, we do what we need to do. The Civil Rights Act in the 50s allowed these illegal immigrants to crowbar their way in and usurp the 14th Amendment. Now that we have more information, we're going to do justice under this administration with the best president that we've ever had in the United States, President Donald Trump. And we're going to be competitive and formidable nation once more. God bless.
All right.
It's a story, and I'm gonna refer to the Quran. It's Surah 18, Taha, and it's talking about a time during when Moses was he met Melchizedek, but he was called something else. And Melchizedek told him, "I'm gonna do three things before you, and I don't want you to ask no questions as to why I do these three things." During that time, according to the story, Moses thought he was the most smartest man, and he couldn't nobody tell him nothing because of the knowledge that he had and what he obtained through his experience. And I'm saying that to say, just because your right is right in your mind, from your understanding, your perception, doesn't mean that it's right in my mind. And for me to perceive it the same way that you perceive it. Not saying that you're right or wrong, because I believe right and wrong, good and bad, is taught. It's a condition. And what you consider right, like I said, is wrong for somebody else. And I'm saying that to say knowledge comes from every area, whether you be old and whether you be young. Just because this person is younger than you doesn't mean you can't obtain any knowledge or understanding from him. Just because this person went through this, you can't say that his experience or her experience is right or wrong, because that's their experience. So if I were to tell you I seen a damn a UFO, and you sit up there and tell me that I didn't see it, you taking away from my experience. How you gonna tell me what I seen and what I experienced? And one thing that we kept on touching bases on very shortly while we was talking this whole time was the language. And the brother just touched on it before he got off the mic. If we don't know our original tongue, the original language of mankind, because at one point, you got to keep in mind, humanity spoke telepathically. And with that being said, when they brung the words out and started speaking, communicating with the words verbally, what was that language? And that's how I'm going to end what I have to say. Do we still know the original language of man? Because if you don't know the original language of humanity, how can you call your creator if you're looking outside of yourself? Because a lot of people don't know how to look and see into themselves and know that they are a part of the creator, the infinite source. Thank y'all.
Wow, don't leave, because I think that Tahina Ra wanted to like talk to you. Go ahead. Oh, like your head. That's so cute. That's so cute. You listen, I love stuff like that. Like hats with like bows on them. Oh my god. Not the hat with the bow on top. I love that type of shit. Trust me. I'm sorry. I had a moment. I'm sorry. I like that type of stuff. Like, hats with bows. Yes.
So let me appreciate you for having me, because I was scrolling when I popped in, and this was a wonderful conversation. Even though we didn't talk about single mothers, but hey,
Hey,
it was still a good conversation.
people just want to make it about what they want to make it about.
Right, but it was still a good conversation all the same. And so we did get to build, right? And so
Yeah.
that was the bigger picture. And so I do want to apologize for my Taurus showing up. You know, but she did. And so, you know, but she came back, and we still built, because, you know, it is what it is, you know. But I did want to say, because the young man that I told him to wait, because they were conversating on the Louisiana Purchase, and he was saying something about his people and the tracing and the Louisiana Purchase. And I do want to say this, because of you need to do some research on the Louisiana Purchase and the Missouri River. And I told you the Mississippi runs through here 4 times. I told you about that war, and that uprooted some people. It uprooted some a branch of people, of Indians. So I'm not sure if this list is called the Dawson Indian list, because the elder spoke. So there's a list, and it's online now, because I'm gonna come back through here and I'm gonna see you again. So I might have to look into some of my stuff. So there's a Dawson Indian list or something, and it has all these names. So if you might can trace back before they erase it or whatnot, but I'm gonna help you look for it too. So the Louisiana Purchase was a purchase that had a lot to do with not just the land, but some other stuff too. But that river that connects with the Mississippi,
The
then
Red River.
Louisiana. Wait a minute, let me land. So all of these somehow or another connects to the Pacific, right? And so
Yeah.
because of that, there's there was a Pacific trade that they don't want to talk about, okay? And so Indians traveled by water, even if they walked. Okay, so because of this reason, the Dawson Road. Thank you so much, person in the chat. I can't pronounce your name. I don't want to disrespect you. So that's the name of the list. It's called the Dawson Road, right? So when you they traveled by water, even when they got to Ohio. It was somebody on here not too long ago that told you that they were from Ohio, and Genesis says she went there. So one of the things is because when you talk about the Great Lakes, the 5 Great Lakes, right? Lake Superior dried up as well, not just in the Wisconsin Dells, but Lake Superior dried up, and it's one of the biggest salt fields left in America. So when you want to go get salt, the salt mine, that's one of the biggest salt mines there. So dig into that, because there's a lot of Wichita Indians and they spread it out. So you might have to dig this way for your people due to the Louisiana Purchase. Get what I'm saying? And because you brought that up, that made me remember. So start into that, but remember the Louisiana, the Missouri River, because that travels here. We connect with that.
I think they're probably one of the oldest tribes. Ain't it? The Missouri, I forgot what they called, but ain't they some of the old, one of the oldest tribes? The Missouri.
Come on in. And so you have all of this is why I'm trying to tell you. So because of that fight, some of them moved there, and they're also Cherokee. All right. So this is why you got to get into that. And so this is how you're gonna find your people. So they don't always have to be there. They could be here too.
I wasn't looking for my people, but thank you.
Well, all right.
I was trying to understand because I'm like,
that's what I need to tell you, because again, it's in the history, and I got a lot of books, but I know, because I'm from.
Understand how my family ended up from Virginia to
right,
Ohio.
but a lot of your people, I know some of them. And I can't say I know them by the last names. I know people by the last name. Some of them are from Detroit, where you said you were, but some of them from California too. So you might need to talk to your peoples. All right. And that's what I can tell you. Genesis.
The Murrays, the Fletchers, and the Hendersons, and then
the ones that start with the P.
Yeah.
I can't. The name is it's almost French, and I only know a few of them. But what you call them?
Hold on.
California. I only know they come out of California and they're in Detroit.
Yeah, California.
Really? That last name is a Detroit last name?
I know they're in Detroit.
So mine's is like Murray, Henderson, and
there was another thing I was going to say earlier that when the brother was talking, because some of the things I was saying, I was like, because I was going to get to the point where the woman was on the planet longer than the man, and that the man was here before the woman thing. I don't agree with that, but he never let me get off into it.
Well, see, a conversation nobody really want to have is her Methodism existed.
Oh.
Okay. That's a subject or a conversation nobody wants to hold. And
yeah, they don't.
They knew that the water and they knew that the people didn't live that long. And they knew the reasons why was because of the water and the X, Y's, and Z's. And that's the reason why that disease itself existed. And they knew why the people didn't live that long. But yet, you don't want to talk about that.
So do you think that her Methodism is also what leads to transgenderism?
It could have been. But again, because at that time, when you don't know that type of stuff, we can sit back and go, ugh. But if they don't know that, that's not ugh. That's
But
just a life.
the thing is, the soul don't have a gender. So we're infinite beings.
So now you looking at stuff going, ugh, but at that time, that's not ugh, that's just a life. Because at this time, you can say, I don't want my daughter to be both, and I'll cut it off. Or maybe at this time you can't cut it off or take one or the other because it might kill them. Like one time they had children with an extra finger, and they had to keep it on there. And then when kids see kid with an extra finger, they go, ah. And then later on, they invented a way where they could cut that extra finger off. Or you seen kids with two heads and things of this nature. But you don't get to see all them Siamese effects no more.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So they say as you know better, you do better, you show better and all.
Yeah, listen, my finger right here. You see this? It can't bend. My daughter got the same. I cannot bend my thumb. See this? It can't bend. My sister said that's why I type so fast. So whenever I hit the space bar, I'll be like, pow, pow. Because my thumb is so straight. Because it will.
You see what I'm saying? We'll build and talk about it some more because this is what it's about. And I appreciated it, you know, and we this is what it's here for, so we can get it out here and start all over again and make this Genesis the best one.
Yes. See, I don't want to have a debate. I don't want to debate on my channel. I want to share knowledge. I want this to be a place where we okay, we add on to what everybody knows. Oh, okay, so you said this. Guess what? Also in this, and then that, and then by the time we're through, people are like, "Damn, you know what? I got something from that." You know what I'm saying? I don't want this to be a debate platform. This is not debate. There's plenty of debates. There's so much debate platforms on here.
It's always going to be a debate because everybody ain't going to agree on everything. That would lead
I want it to be a knowledge transfer. I want this to be a platform where we just share knowledge with each other and say,
it's a way to debate, as long as the debate respectful.
Yeah.
And when it falls out of the category of being respectful, it's good because you get knowledge within debate.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You know, I just want to
That's why I was saying.
I want to have a community of teachers, not so much a community. I want people that come here to be the teacher. You know how you say those that are something I debate, those that blah, 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 I teach. The people that come here, I want them to be the teachers of the situation. I want Sakina Ra to come here and be able to teach. You said you had a whole you said you had a presentation. I want you to come here and show that presentation. I want people to come here and be able to say, listen, even how respectful it was, even for the Baba that got up here, and even though he's older and he probably saying the same stuff he just did. No, okay, but you see how everybody just let him just rock, you know? But then after he got done, they rock. Okay, yeah, that was cool and everything, but I don't agree with everything he said. That's the level of respect I want to have here. I don't want to have it to be a thing where you debating the Baba or she debating you or you debating her. It's y'all bouncing ideas off. You know what? Oh, okay, so you found this? Because how do we be able to build off each other's knowledge? Back in the day, we used to have this thing called building. The 5% Nation used to do it. They used to just build, and then someone would have some knowledge, another person would have some knowledge, and then they would just build upon each other's knowledge. That's what I want this platform to be, straight up,
Right. I get it. Well, I had a wonderful time, and I really appreciate everybody. Thank you all so much for having me, DJ Genesis. It was awesome.
Thank you so much. Well, listen, don't leave. I want you to get Brian's information. Not Brian. Sorry, I said your real name. My government. But I just want everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Shouts out to the chat. Thanks everybody. I want you to get his information. Y'all can share that. Now the things that you were trying to share with him. Peace out. Good night. Trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see
transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, ooh. Transmission, a mission.